Felters and welcome. So this is just a bit of a fun one. In my Patreon recently I did a challenge to do any sort of seasonal food to try and help you sort of get better with your felting by looking at something and then trying to felt it. So I did a couple of pigs in blankets and they looked a bit sad, so I thought I would do the whole dinner, which I don't know why, but I took on the challenge. So here we are doing the peas. If you roll them between your hands, this really gets them going. Now, this is Sally's work. She did a hot chocolate with whipped cream. I'm going to show you some of my patrons' entries that they put in. I pull names out of a hat for prizes. So peas, super easy, super simple. If you don't want to hold it, wear finger guards or hold it with another needle so you don't hurt yourself, because this is the kind of time that you're going to hurt yourself when you're holding tiny little things. So I did the peas. They were quite fun to do. Obviously super easy. Then we go on to the carrots, and these were not as bad as I thought. I was going to do cut carrots, so peeled and cut up into slices. So I did a triangle and then felted both sides, and then we're going to fold it in on itself. And it really wasn't as hard. I thought it'd be really hard to get the edges. So fold it in once and then fold it over again, and then fold it together and keep forcing it into the shape of the triangle as you go, and that helps you keep it. And don't felt along the edge too much, felt the sides. This was Vanya's Christmas pudding in a bauble. It was really, really good. Lovely little entry. And then the top of the carrot, if you felt it back down on yourself, you get that sharp flat edge. It took a while. I didn't felt these really, really firm. So there I am sort of showing you, don't felt along the very edge bit, leave that till the last. But they weren't as tricky as I thought, carrots, and I keep forcing that triangular shape. So there's a couple more all done, coming together. And then this is the Brussels sprouts. We've decided not to have them this year. I don't know, we just don't like them. I don't know about anyone else. So Brussels sprouts, super easy, used a bit of core wool on the inside and then a very light green, a sort of lime green, and went all the way over it. And then felted that smooth. Didn't take too long. So once you've done that, then I took a darker green and had it really patchy and thin to sort of create the leaves effect, the variation in the leaves. And I left a little bit of white, or I put a little bit of white on the base as well. Oh, Nicola's gingerbread man and mince pies looked good enough to eat, Nicola. They were so good. I've asked everybody, by the way, before I put their pictures up. They're all quite happy. And then for the Brussels, once you've put the patchy green on, take some white. I twisted it just to keep the line nice and clean, and felt this is going to be the main sort of spine of the leaf. And then we're going to do the side branches coming out. So I kept it quite simple. So felt them into the middle and then moved them diagonally down so that they look like the leaves sort of wrapping around. They were a bit sharp, a bit crisp, but I think they kind of work from afar. But you could sort of soften them a bit. And I did another two just behind that. And that worked quite well. I was quite happy with them. So here's the Brussels all done. I sort of got better as I went along, I think, with the Brussels. There we go, I did 4. And then next up, pigs in blankets. Now, this was hard. The colour of cooked bacon in my head is sort of a pink, but it's not when you look at it, so it took a while. So I'm doing the sausage on the inside, so it's just a little mini sausage, and I used just a basic brown, rolled it up, and then I had to add a little bit more. This is Trish's Christmas fruits. She always has a bowl of fruits at Christmas, so her banana with his Christmas hat on was a really good idea. So I've added a bit more, and then I spend a bit of time going over it and firming it up. There we go, so that's all done. So I used in the end a bit of red, a bit of orange, some pink and some white for the stripes, and then a dark brown for some burning at the edges. But yeah, it just, I'm still not 100% sure I've got the colour quite right. I don't know, what colours would you put in? But kind of in my head, I'm thinking maybe should have been a bit pinker, but the pink didn't seem to work. So anyway, once you sort of flatten the colours out a bit, rough it up a bit, put a bit of brown on the edges, it kind of looked a bit better. And when you attach it to the sausage as well, it looks even better then. So just testing it out. It was a bit regular there, so I made the lines a bit more wiggly. But yeah, it was really bizarre trying to work out what colour it was. I folded over the underside of the edges to keep them nice and sharp. And here we are popping it on. Doesn't look too bad once you sort of pop it on. And then just felt downwards at the edges so you keep that crisp edge so it looks like a little bit of bacon. And there we go, that wasn't too bad. But yeah, so I did a couple. I think I got slightly better as I went along again with the pigs in blankets. So there's 1, 2, and then I did another one. This one was the very first one I did, so it wasn't as strong a colour. I don't know, does the pink work better? I think it does. So this is the meat. I was just doing sort of turkey. So I took a very, very light pink, and then I've shaped it into sort of a meat slice shape, felted it a couple of times. Christmas pudding again from Siobhan. Christmas puddings were very popular in my challenge, which is good because they're good if anyone wants to sell them afterwards. That's a good thing to make. So then I did the meat all flat and then did the edges between 2 bits of the coasters that I use. If you guys follow me, you guys know about this little trick. 2 bits of cardboard, anything that stops you hurting your hands. And then I took some white and rolled it up and then made some sort of clear sort of meat lines in it just to give it a bit of definition. I didn't want to spend hours and hours on this, but I did want to try and give it the effect of meat. So I did lots of lines sort of all over it. You could simply just felt these lines into it if you want. And so this was sort of one slice, and then the edges looked a bit too neat, so I felt the edges down. This was the original Pigs in Blanket from Ella that gave me the inspiration to do mine, so that was really good. She did a great job. So I felted the edges a bit rougher because I think it looked too uniform and too neat. And there's the other slices. You could do sort of a whole leg, you know, if you really wanted to go for it. So that's the meat. And then this is the fun bit for me, the roast potatoes. So I used, this is just a yellow and core wool in the middle, bit of yellow, wrap it all around. This is just a whole shape. I did a couple of half potatoes as well. This is Kathy's. Look at this gingerbread house. Absolutely fantastic. And the lollipop trees. She did a great job, Kathy. And I have to say a big thank you to all my patrons that entered, and I pull names out of a hat and they get prizes sent to them. So this is the potato. So I've roughly put it on and then I smooth it all over. I squished it a little bit and then I put some sort of burnt marks on it. This was like a mustard colour. It's from Claire's Crafts Create, which is now called Felt Wildly. So the name has changed. But this was sort of a mustardy colour, and this really gives the effect of the little burn marks when you leave it on the tray and then you turn it over. And I try not to be too regular, and then I ended up putting quite a bit on some of them. On the half ones, obviously I put it on the flat bottom. I think it worked. And definitely from afar they look a little bit better, and I put a little bit more around the sides as well on that top one there. But yeah, they were quite fun to do actually. I think they were, when you look at it on the plate, they're the best bits. And then I did a stuffing ball and I just did a range of colours, and then I felted. It took ages, so I didn't want to do another one. It took so long. So here's the Christmas plate that we put out for Santa normally with the mince pies and the carrots. So I put everything on, and I just think it was it's a fun challenge to try and do to help you improve your felting. So here is my Christmas pudding dinner. I don't know what I'm going to do with it now, but yeah, I did a pumpkin one a while ago, which I'll link up here, and go and watch that if you want to see, did I recreate the pumpkins? But I just think it's a fun challenge to yourself to help you improve your felting. Christmas llama is going to be the next video up, but thanks for watching everybody, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.